Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural episode of Dirty Talk with the Dream Police. I am Cookie Cutter Chris Gambino. With me, as always, Smoking Don Gotti. We thought we'd take you on a little trip back to the year 2003, where we actually got our start in, I guess, wrestling. We actually started, like many people in the wrestling business, is backyarders up in a organization called FEWA, the Fox Valley Wrestling Alliance.
Good times.
In Appleton, Wisconsin.
Good
Many of the guys we still talk to. Some of which we actually even still wrestle with. We were always wrestling fans growing up. I remember watching Dusty Rhodes when I was 5, 6 years old. Him walking out in the polka dots, the American Dream. Just loving the whole allure of it, the whole spectacle behind it, and him being a bigger guy and being extremely impressed with some of the things he was able to do. And I know you were always a Hart fan.
Always the excellence of execution. I remember to this day, I remember watching SummerSlam. I believe it was SummerSlam 92, I believe. 91 or 92 with Mr. Perfect.
91.
Honestly, one of the best matches I've ever seen, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a huge Bret Hart mark, but I was hooked from day one, and so I always kind of wanted to do it, but I never actually knew it was actually possible until we actually started working. We went to a show and we thought we'd check out a promotion in Green Bay, ACW, where a lot of people have actually gotten their starts and actually done really well for themselves in this business. The current TNA champion,
Ken Anderson,
strolled through there.
CM Punk cut his teeth down there. Colt Cabana, a guy named Hornswoggle.
Numerous other. Yeah, he was there.
I suppose we have to mention him.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I guess so.
Back in October of, I think it was 04, 05, we went and saw his show at the Watering Hole with Gangrel. It was Gangrel and Kevin Kruger for the ACW Heavyweight Championship. And I was always a big fan of the Brood. So I was really excited to be able to see a guy I idolized on television. And he came out and stood on the steps, much like he used to do on television, and took a sip from his goblet of that red viscous liquid that was supposed to be blood, and proceeded to... We sat second row, and we sat behind a bunch of, for lack of a better term, gothic chicks, who were just in love with this whole vampire allure that Grell had brought to this show, and they're openly just asking for him to spit all over them. And mind you, I just came from work. I'm wearing a button-up shirt, and
It was. He said it was the shirt he was going to get married in.
Nice slacks, and was just covered from head to toe in whatever he spit all over the place. And for the remainder of the match, I don't think I sat back in my chair. I sat there and screamed at the top of my lungs how he just ruined my wedding, and how Gangrel just ruined my clothes, to the point where I'm pretty sure he was going to look for me after the show, but turns out he got in a fight with somebody else. It's a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
Just to tell you that one. But anyways, a couple of our friends had started training with ACW, and we decided we wanted to give it a shot. They had an open tryout on a Sunday afternoon. We had driven to, I believe it was Kiel, and for about 6 to 8 hours got the ever-living piss beaten out of us.
Ever-loving piss. I actually still have a mark on my back to this day from running ropes ragged. I still have it on my back, actually.
And, if you are looking to become a professional wrestler, yes, your first couple of years are going to be hell. Yes, the training is atrocious. They will work you like dogs, and they will beat the hell out of you just to see if you can stand it.
Probably going to do some things that you're not probably, so...
Yeah. Some things you're not going to want to tell your parents about, some things you're not very proud of, just some things you wouldn't want to tell a judge about. But anyways, we were one of the few select combatants who decided to continue with the training and came back on a regular basis and started to cut our teeth in the ACW dojo of pain under Shane Hills and Jay Cash.
Big ups to them, by the way.
Yes, thank you again. We
in.
may not seem as appreciative as we should be, but we really are. We shortly thereafter we were very lucky to be putting on shows, very early in our careers.
Yep.
Except where it was almost we were destined to fail because we were thrown out there with other greenhorns, other rookies, maybe people who had 6 months in the business and expected to go out there and put on these classic matches when none of us knew how to put a match together or tell a story. We just knew how to go out there and do high spots and do fancy moves, and that's not going to get you anywhere. You know, the basics are what is your bread and butter.
So to make a long story short, we pretty much just we stuck with it. We kept coming and kept coming and kept going, and eventually, you know, they started to see that, hey, I mean, these kids really wanna learn and really want to get better, and they're out for the greater good. I remember, I mean, we never asked for a payday. We would take the ring, we would set the ring up, we would take the ring down, we would
buy the boys drinks.
Buy everybody drinks, which is something that you did.
We'd find the guys rats. Just
hell yeah,
it's just the nature of the business.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story actually about that in the next part. Actually, this is a 2-part of our first episode. So I will actually tell a funny story of getting a certain worker a chick, and it's a really funny story. Actually, it goes a long way. So we're going to cut this down. We're going to make it a real short thing. Anyways, so we gritted our teeth and did whatever we had to do. And eventually they thought highly enough of us to put the tag team titles on us.
Our stock rose to the point where we were looked at as the top of the tag team heap. On multiple occasions, we did have match of the year back in 2008,
which was a TLC match
with the McCoys. We were still
Chase and Mickey. Love you guys.
Extremely proud of what we did together.
Great match, actually. I obviously it will hold a special place in my heart.
Yes, same here. We continued till about July of 2009, where in January we actually broke up, and they decided to give it a shot to put us against each other and just see what happened.
It didn't really work out so well.
I was having some issues with the concussions and decided I needed a break. And this wasn't for me at the time. I took about 2 years off. And you stuck around for a little bit after that.
I did. So anyways, so then we now, that's pretty much us. We're 3-time tag team champions, and that's, I guess, our claim to fame.
Yes.
So, this web show that we have going on, this is the reason why we're doing it. We want to do this. This is, if nobody watches, we don't really care. This is something we wanted to do.
We like to go out of our way to make people laugh, and that is the intention of everything we're going to talk about.
Exactly.
If we have time, we'll share a couple quick...
Are you drunk already?
A little bit.
Are you drunk on this Stolchna vodka? Anyways, each week we will be doing a couple segments. Our segments, we're gonna do the names of the week. Birthday shout-outs, random broads. Who knows? It could be
who we're currently feeling.
It could be your grandmother. It could be some six-year-old girl who we like.
Could be our 6th grade art teacher.
Exactly.
Mrs. Ochtenberg, I do miss you.
It could be anybody. And also, we're gonna do a little trivia. We're gonna ask a trivia question. If you can tell us the right answer, look us up on Facebook. Let us know what you think the answer is. We'll give you a sweet prize. It's probably going to be something from Chris's basement, and it might not be his. It might not be signed by anybody or the actual person that we say it's signed by, but it's going to be some sort of really cool prize.
Yes.
That's all we can tell you. Also, we're going to do a segment that we call, the Offender of the Week. The person who is just really just chapping our asses.
Who's steaming our clams.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we're gonna do weekly accolades. Those people who are doing good. Like I said, it could be the crossing guard down on Main Street. It could be,
it could be your mother. Your mother watching at home.
It could be
folding your laundry.
It could be your roommate's dog for not taking a huge heaping dump on, in your bedroom. Whatever. And also, we're going to do a little segment that we like to call Facebook statuses. We're going to actually go on the show, and we're going to look up Facebook statuses that I think and that he thinks are cool, and we're going to comment live on our show. Well, that little timer says that part 1 is over. So, part 2 coming up next. Funny stories, all that good stuff.
Thank you guys for watching. Have a lovely time.